you've worked with Drew Hollingshead for a long time. What prompted you to make that move and put him in that inside receiver spot?
He'd been, he'd kind of been somewhat in that role for a while. He'd been my assistant. I would have to do the math on it, probably 7 years or 6 or something. Was very familiar with, our team and how I wanted things done specifically. He had a similar role that Lincoln Riley had, for example, and Dana Holderson, and so it went. But and so then he's familiar with everything in several aspects, several positions, and so I think it's a real natural transition. I mean, sometimes you can go find somebody with more experience overall, but not more experience with us in our situation. So I think it was, that's a thing, is you want to be developing guys within your system as you go, and so hopefully there's as a little effect with the transition as possible.
Steve.
Coach, you guys revamped your specialist room in many respects, bringing in Massimo Biscardi. I know as a scholarship guy, obviously the kicking woes are well documented. How do you feel about this group of guys you were able to get in?
I feel really good about them. I think that I feel really good. I think that we're not done yet. And it's because right now the dust hadn't all settled on this business of going to portals, being immediately eligible, and all the things that go along with that. But what we are able to do, I guess, is we have a pretty comprehensive class here. We fill most of our needs, even though we're not finished, and I think they were high quality guys. I think that I think this is a really good class. It's might be the best class that my group's ever had. So we're excited about it.
Courtney.
Coach, how has the transfer portal in the NLI era or NIL era impacted you, and what sort of changes have you had to make for that?
I haven't made too many changes. Of course, I don't think it's all really taken hold. I think they're still in a transitional period. I'm curious what unfolds. Occasionally there's some people out there that talk about this, that, and the other thing, and I think a lot of that's really quite exaggerated. We just went out and recruited, and as we made relationships with players, then we signed them.
Coach, I know you're going to get the guys in practice drills for spring for several more weeks, but how have the newcomers made that transition as far as the transfers and the early high school graduates? How have they done so far?
Well, we just barely started. Pretty good. We were having a real enthusiastic off-season. Guys are flying around. We're kind of in the, we're just sort of coming out of the conditioning phase. I mean, after, sitting and you start the winter off season, and not everybody does it this way, but an awful lot of teams do. You start out kind of creating an endurance base so that, you have a higher work capacity going, and so they've been doing that conditioning stuff, starting to come out of that, working more towards speed and power stuff, and then of course we've organized our off-season competitions and things like that. So